The shape of our Earth is a topic of much discussion. For a very long time, scientists have gathered evidence. This evidence shows our planet is a sphere, like a giant ball. However, some people believe the Earth is flat, like a disc. This idea has gained attention in recent years, especially online. The differences in these views are quite large. One group relies on centuries of scientific observation and mathematics. The other group questions this established understanding. This ongoing debate has led to many interesting conversations and sometimes even expeditions to find answers. It is important to explore these questions with an open mind using facts and observations. Many who believe in a flat Earth have specific ideas about Antarctica. They often picture it not as a continent at the bottom of a globe. Instead, they imagine it as a massive ice wall. This ice wall is thought to surround all the known continents. This idea is a key part of many flat Earth models. It suggests that if you travel far enough south, you will eventually hit this impassable barrier of ice. Some also believe that governments are hiding the true nature of Antarctica. They think this is done to prevent people from discovering the edge of the world. These beliefs are very different from what mainstream science tells us about the South Pole. To address these differing views, a unique expedition was organized. It was called the Final Experiment. This trip had a very clear and ambitious goal. It aimed to take people with different beliefs about Earth's shape to Antarctica. The main purpose was to observe a specific phenomenon, the 24-hour sun. During the Antarctic summer near the South Pole, the sun does not set for several days or even weeks. It appears to circle in the sky. This is a well-documented event. The organizers hoped that witnessing this firsthand would provide clarity. They wanted to offer a direct experience that could help settle some aspects of the flat Earth debate. The hope behind the Final Experiment was significant. Pastor Will Duffy from Colorado organized this journey. He wanted to create a space where both flat earthers and those who accept the globe model could observe the same things. The core idea was that direct observation could be a powerful tool. If people could see the Antarctic midnight sun with their own eyes, it might change minds. Or, at the very least, it would provide solid data for everyone to consider. The experiment was designed to be a moment of truth. It was a bold attempt to use real-world experience to tackle a persistent and often contentious question about the world we live in. The exciting expedition known as the Final Experiment took place in December 2024. This timing was chosen carefully. December is summertime in the southern hemisphere. This means it is the best time to observe the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. The group traveled to a specific location called Union Glacier Camp. This camp is deep within Antarctica. To get there, they first flew to Punta Arenas in Chile. From there, it was another long flight about 4.5 hours south to reach the camp. This remote and icy destination was the stage for their important observations. It provided the perfect conditions for what they came to see. The expedition was the brainchild of Will Duffy, a pastor from Colorado. He had been planning this trip for 3 long years. His vision was to bring people from both sides of the flat Earth debate together. The group that made the journey was composed of 8 individuals. 4 of them were proponents of the flat Earth theory. The other 4 were globe earthers, people who accept the scientific consensus that our planet is a sphere. This balanced group was intentional. It ensured that observations and discussions would include diverse perspectives. The idea was to foster a shared experience, even if interpretations might differ later on. Undertaking such an expedition to a remote place like Antarctica is not a simple or cheap venture. The cost for each participant was quite substantial. It ranged from approximately $31,495 to $37,700 per person. This cost covered the complex logistics, including flights and participation in the experiment. One report mentioned a specific figure of $35,000 per person. Funding for such a specialized trip came from Antarctic Logistics and Expeditions. This organization specializes in supporting journeys to the Antarctic continent. The high cost reflects the challenges of travel and survival in one of the world's most extreme environments. It shows the dedication of those involved. To ensure transparency and share the experience widely, the entire expedition was filmed. The plan was to create a live-streamed broadcast of the events. This approach would allow people all over the world to follow along. They could see what the participants were seeing almost in real time. This commitment to filming was important. It aimed to prevent any claims that the events were misrepresented or hidden. By broadcasting the observations, the organizers hoped to bring the experiment to a global audience. This would allow many more people to engage with the findings and discussions that emerged from this unique Antarctic adventure. One of the prominent flat earthers on the trip was Jaron Campanella, also known online as Jaronism. He traveled a very long distance, about 9,000 miles from Salinas, California, to reach Antarctica. This showed his commitment to seeking answers. During his time at Union Glacier Camp, Mr. Campanella witnessed the 24-hour sun. He saw the sun circling in the sky without setting. This was a significant moment. He openly admitted that he had been wrong about its non-existence. Previously, he, like many flat earthers, doubted that the sun could remain visible for 24 hours in Antarctica. His direct observation challenged this belief directly. After witnessing the continuous daylight, Jaron Campanella acknowledged that the sun does indeed circle the southern continent. This observation had a direct impact on his understanding of flat Earth maps. He stated that the azimuthal equidistant AE map, which is very popular among flat earthers, no longer worked for him. This map typically shows the North Pole at the center and Antarctica as an ice wall surrounding the Earth's disk. A 24-hour sun circling Antarctica is difficult to explain with that model. However, while he acknowledged the Earth's round shape to some extent, he did not fully embrace the globe Earth model. He mentioned, "I won't say the Earth is a perfect sphere." Another flat Earth advocate on the expedition was Austin Whitsitt, known as Whitsitt Gets It. He also acknowledged the reality of the 24-hour sun. He conceded that the sun behaved just as people who believe in a globe Earth had predicted it would. This was a clear admission based on what he saw. However, Mr. Whitsitt remained skeptical about the broader implications. He suggested that this observation was just one piece of data. He thought that more information from the trip might help clarify the phenomenon. He also held out hope that there might still be a way to reconcile the 24-hour sun with flat Earth theory, perhaps with a modified model. Lisbeth Acosta from the Flat Earth Gang was also part of the group. She emphasized the importance of approaching the search for truth with humility. She stressed that everyone involved should be willing to put their egos aside. Like the others, she acknowledged witnessing the 24-hour sun. However, she maintained that this observation, on its own, does not necessarily prove the globe model of the Earth. Her reaction highlighted a common sentiment among some of the flat earthers on the trip. While they saw the phenomenon, they did not all consider it definitive proof that the Earth is a sphere. They were open to new information but cautious about abandoning their core beliefs entirely. One of the claims often made within the Flat Earth community is related to the Antarctic Treaty of 1959. Some believe this treaty is used to prevent ordinary civilians from freely exploring Antarctica. The supposed reason for this restriction is to hide the true shape of the Earth, particularly the alleged ice wall. The final experiment directly challenged this notion. By successfully organizing and completing a civilian expedition to Antarctica, the trip demonstrated that such visits are possible. It showed that people can travel to the continent and make observations. This practical demonstration served to debunk one of the conspiracy theories surrounding Antarctica and access to it. The observation of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica has a significant impact on most flat Earth models. As mentioned, flat earthers often believe Antarctica is an immense ice wall that encircles a flat, disc-shaped Earth. In such a model, the sun would move in a path above the disk. This makes it very difficult, if not impossible, to explain how the sun could circle continuously in the sky over a specific region like the South Pole for 24 hours. The azimuthal equidistant map, commonly used, struggles to account for this phenomenon. The direct sighting of the midnight sun by the participants therefore poses a serious challenge to these widely held flat Earth concepts. It is important to remember that the idea of a spherical Earth is not new. In fact, it is ancient. Over 2,000 years ago, brilliant thinkers in ancient Greece, like philosophers and mathematicians, had already figured out that the Earth is a sphere. They used observations of ships' disappearing hull first over the horizon. They studied the Earth's curved shadow on the moon during lunar eclipses. They even used geometry and measurements of shadows in different locations to calculate the Earth's circumference with remarkable accuracy. So, the concept of a round Earth is built on a long history of scientific inquiry and evidence, spanning many centuries and cultures. The organizer of the final experiment, Pastor Will Duffy, stated his clear intention: "I created the final experiment to end this debate, once and for all." While the expedition provided compelling evidence and even led some participants to reconsider their views, it is unlikely to completely end the debate for everyone. Deeply held beliefs can be very resistant to change even in the face of direct evidence. However, the expedition was significant. It brought people together, fostered direct observation, and openly shared its findings. It added a very practical and human dimension to the ongoing conversation about the shape of our amazing planet. It encouraged critical thinking based on real-world experience.